partnership is a relation between the persons who have agreed to share the profits of the business to be carried on by all, or any one of them acting for all. An essential element of any partnership is agreement among the partners. Thus, any change in the partnership agreement gives rise to change in the relationship among the partners, and any such change in the relationship among the partners is termed as reconstitution of partnership firm. And because of that, the existing agreement comes to an end and a new agreement comes into existence. You need to remember that because of the reconstitution, there will always be a change in profit and loss sharing ratio. This chapter lays down the foundation for the upcoming chapters like admission of a partner, retirement of a partner, as well as death of a partner. In this chapter, we have so many things to learn. That's why I have divided this chapter into two parts. In this part, I'm going to discuss with you the basic meaning of reconstitution of partnership firms, the circumstances when reconstitution is required, the issues to be considered at the time of reconstitution, the sacrificing ratio, gaining ratio, goodwill, its meaning, nature, features of goodwill, factors affecting the valuation of goodwill, need for valuation of goodwill, and finally the methods of valuation of goodwill. The remaining topics of the chapter we will cover in the next video. Any change in the partnership agreement gives rise to the change in the relationship among the partners. It is called reconstitution of partnership firm. And as a result, the existing agreement comes to an end and a new agreement comes into existence. It always leads to change in the profit sharing ratio among the partners. Do remember this. This is going to be the most important factor at the time of reconstitution, whether it is change in profit and loss ratio, admission, retirement, death, the profit sharing ratio among the partners will change. Let us now see the circumstances when the reconstitution of the firm takes place. Number 1. Change in the profit sharing ratio among the existing partners. Often, changes take place in the existing profit sharing ratio among the partners due to the change in their capital contributions or due to active or inactive participation in the management by the partners. As a result of the change in the profit sharing ratio, some partners will gain in future while some others will lose in future. Second, admission of a new partner. When a new partner is admitted in the firm, the existing partners will sacrifice their share of profit for the new partner, and it will also lead to the change in the profit and loss sharing ratio, which is one of the reasons of reconstitution. Next, retirement of an existing partner. In this case, one of the existing partner retires and the other continuing partners will gain the retiring partner's share, and this also will lead to change in profit sharing ratio and becomes a reason of reconstitution. Similarly, in case of death of partner. Finally, amalgamation of two partnership firms. It may happen that to avoid the competition in the future, two separate firms may decide to amalgamate in future. This will also lead to reconstitution of the firm, and again existing profit and loss ratio among the partners in the two firms will change. So these are the 5 reasons of reconstitution of partnership firm. Now let us see the first reason of reconstitution, that is change in the profit sharing ratio among the existing partners. The partners of an existing firm may decide to change their profit sharing ratio as a result of change in their capital contributions, due to ill health, old age of partners, due to inability to discharge the duties of the firm. So these are the reasons why partners may agree upon to change their profit and loss ratio. Now let us see the issues which are to be considered for the change in the profit sharing ratio. First, determination of sacrificing ratio. Second, determination of gaining ratio. We all know that because of the change in the profit and loss sharing ratio, one of the existing partners may get less share in the future. So that partner is a sacrificing partner. And in the reverse case, if a partner gets more share in the future, he will be a gaining partner. So we need to find out the sacrificing ratio and the gaining ratio. Next is accounting treatment of goodwill. This is again going to be the most important part of the chapter. Accounting treatment of accumulated profits and reserves, revaluation of assets and reassessment of liabilities, and the sixth one, that is adjustment of capitals. This year, this part, the sixth one, adjustment of capitals, is not in syllabus, so I will not be discussing anything related to capital adjustments. But yes, all the remaining 5 parts are very important. We'll go through it one by one. Sacrificing ratio. Let us see the meaning of this. During change in the profit sharing ratio, some partners will surrender a portion of their share of profit in favor of other partner. The ratio in which the partners have agreed to sacrifice their share in profit in favor of other partner or partners is called as sacrificing ratio. What is the formula for sacrificing ratio? So sacrificing ratio is equal to old ratio of a partner minus new ratio of a partner. To memorize it in a simple way, you can remember it as SON. S-O-N, SON. The sacrificing ratio is computed to find out the amount of compensation to be paid by the gaining partner to the sacrificing partner. The compensation is usually paid on the basis of proportionate amount of goodwill, share in accumulated profits and reserves, and profit and loss on revaluation of assets and liabilities. These all things are going to be very important. We have to remember that gaining partner will have to pay the compensation to the sacrificing partner on the basis of these 3 topics. Gaining ratio. Due to change in the profit sharing ratio, one or more partners will gain their share of profit. It is called gaining ratio. The formula for gaining ratio is equal to new ratio of a partner minus old ratio of a partner. Goodwill. Goodwill refers to reputation of a business which enables it to earn relatively more profit as satisfied customers will come again and again in future. This is what we generally call it as a reputation, the creditworthiness of the firm, which allows the firm to earn more profit. Thus, goodwill of the firm enables it to earn higher profits in comparison to normal profits earned by the similar firms in the same trade. It can also be defined as excess amount paid for a business over and above its net worth. This you generally learn in case of share capital and debentures, but you need to remember that whenever there is an excess amount paid for a business over and above its net worth, that is also goodwill. What is the nature of goodwill? Goodwill is a fixed asset, but not a tangible asset like plant, building, etc. That means it is an intangible asset. It is an intangible asset but not a fictitious asset. Fictitious asset, generally we write it off over a period of time. Goodwill is not written off that way. That's why you are told that goodwill is an intangible asset but not a fictitious asset. What are the features of goodwill? We know like goodwill is an intangible asset like patent, trademark, copyright, etc. valuable when business is sold. All fixed assets except goodwill can be sold separately, but goodwill cannot be sold alone. It can be sold with the entire business. Goodwill is subject to constant fluctuation. Goodwill of a business exists when it earns super profit. Super profit is the firm earns more profit than the normal profits earned by the other similar firms. The value of goodwill increases with the increase in the profit of the firm and decreases with the decrease in the profit. That's why you are told that goodwill is subject to constant fluctuation as it depends on the profit. Exact value of goodwill is not possible. The value of goodwill of a firm depends on factors like nature of goods, risk involved, government regulations, etc. These factors are subject to constant change. So, exact valuation of goodwill of a firm is not possible. Subjective valuation. The value of goodwill depends on the subjectivity of its valuer. So, its valuation will vary from one valuer to another valuer. It is a valuable asset. Like other assets, goodwill is also a valuable asset. As a result, it helps the business to earn more and more profits. Now let us go through the factors affecting the value of goodwill. We all know that goodwill refers to the capacity of a business to earn more profits over and above the normal profit earned by the similar firms. So, let us now study the factors which affect the earning capacity of the firm. Number 1. Location of business. A business located in the heart of the city will naturally attract more customers and will result in higher sales and more profit. Thus, the firm which is having the location in the heart of the city will have more goodwill. Second, nature of business. A firm dealing in quality goods of daily use will have stable demand for its products. Such firms will earn more profit than a firm dealing in goods with uncertain demand. So, the firm dealing in the daily use products will have more goodwill. Management. A business operated by experienced and efficient management will be able to earn more profit, so it will have more goodwill. Longevity of the business. An old established business will have more customers in comparison to new firms, so it will earn more profit and will have more goodwill. Next, possession of license and patents. The possession of license and patents from the government enhances the goodwill of the firm. Similarly, the possession of patent right to manufacture certain type of articles will enhance the goodwill of the firm. Quality of products. If a firm produces quality products, its sales is assured. Such firm enjoys better profit margin and will have more goodwill. Degree of competition. A firm producing goods having less competition or monopoly enjoys more goodwill. Next, capital requirement. A firm which is generating higher sales volume and more profit with less invested capital will enjoy more goodwill. Incentives. A firm possessing import and export license, long-term contracts for supply of raw material, assured power supply, foreign collaborations, etc. will naturally enjoy more goodwill. The need for valuation of goodwill. The valuation of goodwill is needed whenever the mutual rights of partners change. A partner who is making a sacrifice must be compensated by the gaining partner on the basis of goodwill. Thus, need of valuation of goodwill in a case of partnerships arises in the following cases. Number 1. Change in the profit sharing ratio among the existing partners. Number 2. Admission of a partner. Number 3. Retirement or death of a partner. Number 4. Sale of a business. And number 5. Amalgamation of two firms. Let us now go through the methods of valuation of goodwill. Goodwill is an intangible asset and is subject to constant change, so it is very difficult to value goodwill precisely. Let us see the methods. We have simple average profit method. Under this method of valuation of goodwill, average of past year's profit of a number of years is calculated and is multiplied by agreed number of years to find out the value of goodwill. The very first step is to calculate the average profit, and the formula to calculate average profit is equal to total profit to be divided by number of years. And then the second step is to have the value of goodwill. Value of goodwill will be equal to average profit into the number of years purchase. The past profits should be adjusted in view of future expectations in the following light. Abnormal loss of a particular year be added back and abnormal income be deducted to arrive at the profit of a normal year. The reason is very clear. For the calculation of goodwill, we need to have the normal profits of the normal year, and that's why any such abnormal losses are added back and any such abnormal incomes are to be deducted. Income from investments be deducted as it is not an operating income of the business. Normal expenses will be deducted from the past profit if not deducted in the past. And normal income has to be added if not added in the past. So these are the adjustments which we need to take care. One is regarding the abnormal losses. Abnormal losses will be added back. Abnormal incomes will be deducted. Income from investments will be deducted. Normal expenses will be deducted and normal incomes will be added. The second method for calculation of goodwill, that is weighted average profit method. Here also we need to have two steps, but before that let us go through what is weighted average profit method. In this method, each year's profit is assigned a weight in a manner so that recent year's profit is given highest weight and the least weight is given to starting year. The abnormal profits or losses are adjusted to find out the normal profit of that year. This is what we have discussed earlier. Normal profits are then multiplied with respective weights. The formula to calculate the weighted average profit, that is the total of the product of profits upon the total of weights. And then you get the goodwill. The goodwill is equal to weighted average profit into number of years purchase. You have to remember that this method is preferred when profits depict a rising or falling trend over a given period of time. Third method is super profit method. Super profit refers to excess profit earned by a firm in comparison to normal profit earned. Thus, if firm has no excess profit, it will not have goodwill. Normal profit is equal to capital employed into the normal rate of return upon 100. Capital employed can be calculated in two ways. We all know that normal profit is equal to capital employed into normal rate of return upon 100. Capital employed can be calculated in two ways, the liabilities approach and the assets approach. We all know that. And the normal rate of return is nothing but the rate of the profit which is earned by the business units in the similar business. Super profit. Super profit is equal to actual or average profit minus normal profit, and then you can calculate goodwill. Goodwill is equal to super profit into number of years purchase. Fourth method of calculating goodwill is capitalization of average profit method. Value of business is ascertained by capitalizing the profit earned on the basis of normal rate of return. This capital is known as capitalized value of average profits. What are the steps? The first one is to calculate the capitalized value of average profit, which is equal to average profit to be divided by rate of return into 100. Then we need to calculate the capital employed, and after that we can see the value of goodwill calculated by the difference of the two values, capitalized value of average profit minus actual capital employed. Net intangible assets exceed the capitalized value of average profit, there will be no goodwill. Do remember, this is very important. The fifth method of calculation of goodwill is capitalization of super profit method. In this method, super profit is computed. We all know how is super profit calculated, that is average profit minus normal profit. And then goodwill is computed as goodwill is equal to super profit to be divided by the normal rate of return into 100. You have to remember that the amount of goodwill calculated by either of the two methods of capitalization will always remain the same. I'm sure I have made myself clear with the basics of reconstitution of partnership firm. We'll come up in the next video with some more important topics. Thank you so much. Do like, share, comment and subscribe my channel. God bless you all.